Hi, I've not produced a video for a while. It's been over a month since I recorded my last video, but today I'm going to show you how I build a single Swift box. A slightly different shape to most Swift boxes, although there are one or two designs similar to mine. So let's get to it. So let me show you my Swift box design. First of all, it's 50 centimeters long, okay, and it's that sort of shape. I like a bit of an overhang because it protects the entrance hole slightly, and then you've got this coming down over, so any rain does affect that. That's just going to come off straight away. What I'll do with this is what I call the front top. Is I'll probably felt that and paint it, and then obviously you've got I'll probably put a felt roof. No need to put a felt roof on really, because it's going to be underneath the overhang of a house, but I will put a felt roof on it so it comes out sort of about that far. Okay, and then inside then we've got a little nesting cup here that I've routed out of a bit of 3/4 inch ply, and that should suffice. I'm going to show you how we build it. Okay, so if you're going to make a Swift box with this sort of dimension, I mean, there's obviously a few angles involved with it. You don't have to do it like this. You could just do a straight box, like an oblong box if you wish. But this just adds a bit of protection to the entrance hole, and it makes it difficult for birds like starlings to gain access, because they'll take over the box otherwise, and house sparrows of course. So the more sort of the more you protect that entrance hole, the better really. Okay, so work out your angles. I'm lucky I've got a table saw, so I can rip mine down on a table saw. Some of you might have to cut it by hand. So as you can see, that's the angles. The angles will vary. It all depends on what sort of design you're going to make. So when you cut your shapes out, you come to the ends pieces, and that's the shape of the end. Okay, so you need, obviously you need two of those. I'll write the dimensions down later for you all to see at the end of the video. Okay, first thing I do is I've got the bottom piece, the floor. I've got a vise to help me out here, and I put a bead of external grade Gorilla Glue, which I think is the best glue I've used anyway. It's probably better on the market, I would imagine, but I'm happy with the Gorilla Glue. It is quite expensive as well, unfortunately. And then I get the back piece, and then that's going to be fitted, glued and pinned in place. Your brad pins and glue, and then you're left with that. Just cleaning the corners off, the edges, prevent splinters. And then ready to fit the sides. Should fit lovely here, that should. Okay, sides, let's just alter that a little bit so you can see it. So I just basically keep it up like this. Again, glue, get it in place. Once you're happy with it in place, everything is flush, fit it. Same this side. excess glue off. Damp cloth. And then ready to do the other side. Bead of glue again. Even though I'm using expensive marine ply, it's still poor quality. You still have cavities like that, which is annoying really, because it is premium ply. You'd expect it to be a lot better than that, but I've noticed it's gone downhill over the years. I mean, it's not my building supplier, which is Robert Price's in Pontypool. They're good as gold. It's not their fault, it's only what they buy in. But the quality of ply has gone downhill. I'd be interested to know your views on that. Leave me a comment and let me know if you agree with that or not. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Now the slightly more interesting part. We're going to put this little piece on here now, which is basically the lower front part. See that first, which is this part, and again we've got that angle on it, and it's going to fit like so. And I've got the wrong size here. Why have I got the wrong size? Okay, because I've added that on. I'm like, oh dear. Be wrong as well. So just bear with me, I've got to get the different sizes. Okay, so got the wrong sizes. Let's get the lower front part fitted first. Obviously we're going to have to cut it. And what I just do, rather than measure it, I just offer it up like so. Get my mark, then I can take a cut. So I know that the top front is going to be the same cut. I can cut them at the same time. To show you how I cut it. This is my Makita chop saw. This is my miter station, and we know these are going to be the same measurement. So it's just basically cutting two in one go. Can you see that? Just drop that down slightly. Probably notice there's a slight delay in cutting them. That's for a reason. I have to wait for my dust extraction to kick in, and it is a little bit of a delay. Okay, so that should be the correct measurement there now. Now we need to measure where the entrance hole is going to go, and I'll give you the dimensions for the entrance hole at the end. So let me get my little backhoe. Obviously I want to come in from the end because I don't want it to be right up close to the wall, and I always come up, what did I come up? 40 mil, sorry, actually it's 35 mil, no it's not, it's 40 mil, sorry. So I come up 40 mil and take a measurement. So that's going to be the lower part. Make my mark. That's my 40 mil mark, which is right, yeah. And then I always do the width, sorry, the depth of the, sorry, the size of the entrance hole is 30 mil width, and length is 70 mil. Okay, just bear that in mind. They vary. Other people have got different measurements, but if you do a 30 mil or 32 mil even, that's okay, because my bit is actually 32mm. But if you've got a 30mm bit, that's fine. So it's 30 by 70, okay? So I've measured that now. I know exactly where the cuts are going to go. Right, so I want to try and centralize that now. So we go 15mm, which is going to be a 30mm hole. 15mm would be the dead center of that. Okay, so I'm going to mark that. Now I got the center of my hole. Oh, and that's box is falling down there. I get my 30mm or 32mm bit, place it where it's going to go, so I know exactly where I'm going to make my, where I'm going to drill the holes. And I like to, even though just a normal oblong shape would suffice, I like to round mine off at the ends, which I'll show you in a sec. Just get my drill, just bear with me. Should have had this already in place, shouldn't I, really? So first things first is to make a pilot hole, and then I'll show you. I use a 32mm bit. So I'm lucky I've got a vise I can use, but I'll use the vise in a sec. So I'm just going to make my pilot hole first. Right, that's going to guide where I want to put my 32mm cut. So it's two 30mm cuts here, and I'm going to put these in a vise. It's a lot easier if you put it in a vise. Don't have to. There's other ways of doing it. Get a friend to hold it, or if you can manage yourself, great. Alright, so I'll make the first cut. I'm not going to go all the way through. I'm just going to go halfway through and then turn it around the other side and continue. Obviously there's a very good reason why I do that. If with ply, if you try to drill straight through, what happens, you get tear out at the back, and it'll basically look awful. I know it's inside the box, you're not going to see it, but I prefer it to do it where there's no jagged edges, etc., and everything is just nice and smooth inside. I'm quite sort of gentle with drilling these because I want it to be nice and neat. So that's that. So that's what it should look like when you've done that. Okay. Now you can either use a jigsaw to cut the remaining piece out, or what I like to use is a multi-tool, and I can get it straighter than I can with a brush. I think this blade's on its way out, but should be left with a shape like that then, and that's basically a shape like that. Obviously, because the shape of Swifts, they got big wings and they tuck their wings in, so that's why it's that shape. And this is not big enough for a starling to get in, so that's the reason behind it. Okay, all you got to do then is just get a bit of sandpaper, clean it up, maybe a wood file, take off the bits and pieces that are hanging on. Okay. Yeah, quite happy with that cut, that's fine. Get a bit of sandpaper, clean it off a little bit. Shake it around my finger, shake it around my finger. And then you've got your little file end to go inside. Get those edges sanded down nice and tidy. And that's that, okay? So now we come to fit it. And when you cut the entrance hole out, make sure you cut it so it's going to be above the floor part, because you want to leave like a little bit of a ledge. I don't know if you can see that inside. Let me see if I can get the camera. Take this off here and I can show you by hand. It's a bit amateur I'm doing this, so do bear with me. Okay, so once you fit the front the way you want it, so this is the view from the inside the box now, okay? You've got a little bit of a ledge here. It's basically just a precaution. I just like that little bit of a ledge there. I mean, some nest boxes are like that, where the ledge is right down to the floor. But for me, I prefer it to have a little bit of a ledge like that. Okay. So again, sorry for this. It's a bit amateur I'm doing this, but as you know, my editing skills are not the best. Okay, right. So I'm happy. Well, that's going to fit. I'm happy where the entrance hole is. All I'm going to do now is fix it. Again, glue. And this is like a waterproof bead, if you like. Even though marine ply is waterproof, the joints you still want to make waterproof as well by using a good external grade glue. That will be your bead basically. Try and hold that in place. Make sure you got it where you want it. Always do the top, each end first, okay? So you know it's in place then, and then you can go around finishing off then. Usually 3 brad pins each side. Now you've got where the bottom part meets, sorry, the front bottom part meets the bottom, the floor. It's difficult to fix, so what I'll do on the outside in here, I shall run a good quality waterproof sealant on the outside of the box, not the inside of the box, and that will act as nails basically, or screws. That'll be, in fact, I'll do that now to show you. Okay, so all I'm going to do is run a bead right. Oh, it always gets blocked like this. Just bear with me. Sorry, this is always the same. Even though I got a piece on it to stop it from blocking up, it still blocks that. Right, let's try that again. Alright, so I'll run a bead on the outside right down, and it's going to fill the gap as well, any gaps there. So, because we need these boxes to be sort of airtight if we can. Alright, so that's that bead. So that's the front part fitted, and this is what you've got so far. Alright, now we come to fitting what I call the top front, and that's going to fit on there. I know it's cut to size, so we're ready to go. First, before I'll do that, I'll clean up the edges. And then I'm just going to try and make this even so I can fit that on top of there like so. Alright. Just put some sandpaper underneath, that's all I use for that. Again, external grade glue. Any glue that smears out on the inside, that's fine. You can just wipe that off later with a damp cloth. Okay. Again, take your time fitting this, the front part, and like I mentioned earlier, always fit the top corners first. Turn that around. They're the ones you need to line up first. Whoops, it's easy. Okay, when you're happy, make it fit, and then find home the rest of the fitting. And again, I'm going to run a bead of external grade sealant in a sec. And there you go. Some cloth. Okay, again, I'm going to run some external grade sealant, waterproof sealant there. Again, and then that will make the box pretty much airtight apart from the entrance hole. And that's what you get so far, okay? Again, clean it up. This is how we hang it. And then all you need to do then is fit the roof. But obviously, I'll probably paint this first. And then I'll fit the felt roof. So this is my 3-chamber Swiftbox, and I'm going to paint this a grey colour because this would probably go on an old Industrial Revolution stone building. So I think grey looks a bit better on those type of buildings. But the actual birds are not fussed what colour the boxes are. They're attracted to the entrance hole, not the colour of the box or the size of the box. It's difficult to get in some of these tight spaces, so we have to use this little tiny brush to get in. And then I can top that off then with a roller. I'll probably stick some felt on this part as well. Again, I'm thinking about the longevity of the nest box. The more I can protect it, the better really. Maybe some felt on the back as well. Even though it's going to be underneath softening fascia and probably not going to get touched by the rain, but just in case it does, you know what the Welsh weather's like. This is made out of marine ply as well, so it's expensive, so I want this to last. So I'm just going to do the ends, and I got a small nest box, another small swift box to do, and then that's me done for the day then. Okay, that's the one side. Let's get the other side done. You can see how quickly the roller covers the areas you're painting. For the life of me, I can't understand why people paint using paintbrushes, but there again, it's personal preference, and I'm not knocking those people. I just find it's a lot faster and a lot tidier as well using might get a coat on the back as well, even though it's going to get felt on. It's just an extra bit of protection. And all the brad pin holes, the brad pin nail holes, I've actually filled in with a wood filler, which is good enough for external pieces as well. So you shouldn't see any brad pin nail hole marks or anything like that, because that's all going to be painted over and covered nicely. Right, so that's that. I wonder if I can pick that up without. Just going to drop it over there and let that dry by there. And then we got one small nest box to do. This will have 2 or 3 coats. Mine. This is only the first coat, so it's likely to definitely have another coat, but it might have 3 coats. So this box I made here, this is a bog standard straight oblong box. I built this just to show people in my talk next week that they are simple to make. That would suffice. That would do nicely, and I've made this out of offcuts of ply. So I don't know if you can see the joint there, but it's all stuck together with Gorilla Glue, and it is pretty solid, so I'm quite happy how it's turned out. So let's get this painted. I need my brush again. What have we done with my brush? Oh, it is there. These intricate pieces, you need a brush to get into these fiddly bits. Feeling a bit under the weather today. I've just had a pneumonia jab, and in one arm, and in the other arm I had a flu jab. This arm I've got a job to lift, so I was supposed to be out fitting a toenail box today, but I've had to cancel that. There's no way I'm going to be able to climb up a tree on a ladder and hold the nest box up there at the same time. Even my superpowers won't do that. That's the front. do one side. Just the back to do, and then that's it, all done for today. Right, I'm going to leave that like that.